there's this big gigantic couch and every subscriber is sitting on it and we're just like watching TV together and hanging out, and I want that to feel this way. Okay, now we get a good. A good.
All I need is me. All I need is me. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. All you need is you. Yeah. All you need is you. You know, you know, you know, you know, you know, you know. 가끔 난 내게 실망해. 스스로 나를 짓밟나. 너의 것밖에 안 돼. 훨씬 더 잘해야 해. 너 훨씬 더 멋져야 해. 지는 이기과 돼. 이겨야 해. 너 어긋나는 건 너무 아픈 것. 겪지 않으면 알 수가 없는 것. 내 일상과 현실 너무 멀구먼. 그 다리 건너 내게 닿고 싶어. 진짜 내게 yeah. 진짜 내게 yeah. All I need is me. All I need is me. I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. But why do I feel lonely? I feel so lonely when I'm with me. I feel so lonely when I'm with me. 살다 보면 비를 받을 수도 있어. 그래야 너도 비를 받을 수가 있어. 맨날 며칠이 비가 내릴 수도 있어. 저 사막에도 비가 내릴 수가 있어. 근데 미안한 나를 포기할 수가 없어. 내가 아는 날에 난 놓아줄 수가 없어. 내 머릿속에 난 이렇게 온전한데 완전 어긋나는 건 너무 아픈 것. 겪지 않으면 알 수가 없는 것. 내 일상과 현실 너무 멀구먼. 그 다리 건너 내게 닿고 싶어. 진짜 내게 yeah. 진짜 내게 yeah. 진짜 내게 yeah. 진짜 내게 yeah.
Musically, this sounds like a self battle in his brain. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like he's either trying to talk himself out of something or into something musically. See what the lyrics say. Like this internal struggle almost. All right, two meanings of that are relevant in the lyrics. One, falls short of expectations, and two, miss each other by taking different routes. To me, it feels like RM is okay. I don't want the two. I don't want what I think. Positive vibe. Okay. All I need is me. I know. All you need is you. You know. Sometimes I get disappointed in myself. I trample myself by myself. Is this the best you can offer? You have to be so much better. You have to be so much cooler. If you're going to lose, you rather have to die. You have to win you. Second. Oh, okay. Being off is such a painful thing. It's something you don't know unless you experience it. My ideal and reality, they are too far apart, but I still want to cross the bridge and reach me, the real me. This song maybe is the one that allows the most subjective transcription interpretation with the absence of official lyrics. Okay, let's leave that. All I need is me. I know. But why do I feel lonely? I feel so lonely when I'm with me. Sometimes you can receive B's in your life. Huh. Yeah, hey, you can also receive B's. It could keep raining for days. In this verse, rain represents some uncontrollable forces in life. Even in that desert, it might rain, but I'm sorry, I can't give up on myself. Oh. In the above four lines, it seems like RM is ready to accept the reality and embrace the imperfections, but here he starts to think about the ideal again. I can't let go of me, who I know as myself. Because you in my head are so whole like this. Because you are so perfect. Being off is such a painful thing. It's something you don't know unless you experience it. My ideal and reality, they are too far apart, but I still want to cross the bridge and reach me, the real me. You know how we say a lot, and I feel like this is a recent thing in the last 5-10 years. And if I'm wrong about that, please correct me. But I feel like this concept of, hey, I'm enough. You are enough. That notion, like that articulation, seems relatively fresh to me. Is that right? Or is that something that people have been saying that consistently for decades and I just didn't know? And I'm sure it's not like it's not a rogue thought to sit here and say like we have this version of ourselves now and we have this like ideal version of ourselves. I've had multiple times in my life where I've started lists. I've started lists of things that I need to either start doing or stop doing to be the best version of myself that I could be. Have you ever done that? Have you ever in your life, even once, started tracking something like that? Like, I need to stop. And I don't mean New Year's resolutions. That's like by January 6th, you're over it. I mean, like, you've got a laundry list. It's like a trapper keeper. Velcro, open in the little mesh net. You pull out your notes, and then here's the 18 pages front and back of all the things that you need to either start doing or stop doing to be the best version of yourself. Has anybody else ever done that? Or am I literally the only one? I feel like the trapper keeper really threw a bunch of people off. Sushi's done it. Aaron's done it. Paulette. All right, so I'm not the only one. And it's like we say to ourselves, like, hey, I need to be enough. At some point, I need to, like, oh, man, ESI. Self-reflection is a double-edged sword, yeah. Grisham says constantly. Arlene says, who hasn't? Maybe. But yeah, it's like, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to like try to be a better version of yourself, but do we take it so hard that it's like we're never actually satisfied with who we are? You know what I mean? And this song, oh man, how does he do it? I can't stand him sometimes. It's infuriating. The fact that he's talking to his ideal self. And I have been talking about this with a close friend all week. I literally said, hey, we need to stop doing this. We're both notorious for it. And there wasn't literally this line, but it was like, hey, we need to start being better to each other or to ourselves. You know, like we both are notorious for this. Like that instant voice right away when you make a mistake that just crushes you. I know you can't help it, but it's like you at least have to have that second voice that kind of comes up on deck and says, whoa, 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 slow down. Take it easy. Like that voice has to exist. And I said not long ago when I did Trivia Love, hey, this is a pattern that I see. We talk all this game and all this smack about, oh, love ourselves and oh, I'm enough, and but then we're just beating the hell out of ourselves constantly. I know it's easier said than done, but like we have to acknowledge it. This is the way it is. Interesting. Wow. See, Nagam, I don't know. I don't know if that's right. Because you say, like, isn't that voice like your, and I'm assuming this is what you're saying. Isn't that voice, are you saying conscious? Like you're making a conscious decision to say that or think that? Or is it like my conscience that says it? I want to make sure I'm understanding you. Yeah, Neha says there is a line between reflection and doubt. Huh. Yeah. My conscience. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, see, Nagam, I think that, like, for me, when I make a mistake, that first voice I hear is terrible. It's terrible to me. And it's instant. If that was my conscience, ooh, that needs some work. But I think if I'm being completely honest, and I think some of you can either agree with this because you experience it, or you know, like scientifically, there's some psychology behind this that explains it. But that first voice that pops off when I make a mistake, that has a lot to do with like my upbringing and experiences that I've had. It's kind of conditioned into me in a way. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Which is why I think it's so important that that second voice kind of comes in to be like, hold on, hold on. I know that's your first thought. That doesn't mean it's right. I don't know if that made sense. That's my 2 cents. But if there's one more thing I can say about this song, Junie's talking to his ideal self. He's having a conversation with this other side of him, this other version of him, as if it is a different person, right? Instead of just it's him that he can't be, however you put it. There's one technique that I've seen used, and I think it's fascinating. I can't say I've seen it used. I've heard of it, okay? And Neha, if you can give any more information, I don't want to make you work, but you can kind of fix me if I'm off. If somebody has a disorder of some type, a lot of times getting them to talk to their disorder is important because our disorders, whatever they may be, we think that they are us. They are us. They drive us. So if my disorder says this, then it must mean that I should. No. Your disorder is a whole different piece. And being able to kind of disconnect from it and then almost speak to it is a way of understanding that that disorder is not just you. It's not just your identity. Your whole identity is not wrapped up in this one thing. But boy, am I drifting again. But Junie does that. When he writes, that's how he does it. It's like you're listening to a conversation between two different people, but it's the same guy, and he's struggling with which one is the right version. And is it even right or wrong that he's having this discussion? Man.